Hey, Tom, Bitcoin, before we let you go, tell us what you think. We're at about $111,000. The upside, the downside from here?
Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies like Ethereum are super sensitive to monetary policy. So I think that September 17th is an important catalyst. Crypto typically does really well in the fourth quarter. So I think Bitcoin can easily get to 200,000 before year end. I know it's a big move. It's almost a double. But that's also going to be a
double
tailwind
from here. Let's just hold on. Let's just take a quick pause. A double from here. So everybody's listening to this. We're at $111,000, and you think we, by Christmas time, effectively, we could be at 200,000?
That's right. One of the reasons Bitcoin stalled this year is the Fed's been on pause for 9 months. That pause all year, if you look at an easing cycle, that's only happened 2 other times, in 1998 and 2024, where the Fed began to resume cuts in the fourth quarter in September. Equities do really well. As you know, crypto is beta to equity. So I think it's going to be a very strong fourth quarter. Small caps should also rally, like IWM, but that also is really bullish for Ethereum, which is highly linked to small caps.
Welcome back to the channel. That was Tom Lee telling you that Bitcoin can head to $200,000 by the end of the year. So that's something you definitely have to be paying attention to. Like and subscribe. We have new Bitcoin strategy content, keeping you guys updated, everything going on with the market. As you can see right here, strategy is at 327. We're down a bit here on the day. Strategy with $70 billion of Bitcoin net asset value. The market cap is around $93 billion, sitting at around a 1.52 MNAV when you account for enterprise value. So strategy falling down MNAV a little bit here, but this could be a potential buy the dip opportunity for strategy. This is not financial advice, but if you look at the most actively traded U.S. stocks for today, we have strategy coming up here in around the top 20, around $1 billion of active traded volume. So that is definitely good to see there for strategy. And then strategy is currently rated at 115 on the top U.S. market cap companies. We know that strategy missed the last S&P inclusion, but we will be included into the S&P probably over the next year. The next date to watch out for is December 8th for that. But I want to get into the big news here today. So just in, 911,000 fewer jobs were created between April 2024 and March 2025. A huge revision. The average gains before the revision was 147,000 jobs per month. Now the average job gains after the revision is 71,000 per month. So one thing to take into account here is with these job numbers coming in way below what they thought they initially were because of these revisions, the numbers that we're seeing right now are probably not the real job numbers. They're going to be revised down in the future. And if we see something like this where it gets revised down in half, the job numbers will be worse than they already are. So this could be a signal to the Fed that, hey, this data that's coming in is not accurate. And the jobs numbers they're already coming in bad. The economy's not looking that great. There's not a lot of new jobs out there. So we may need to do a 50 basis point cut. That is what could be signaling to the Fed. And the BlackRock CIO says the Federal Reserve should cut interest rates by 50 basis points next week. So we do have the FOMC meeting next week. That's when we'll probably see the 25 basis point cut or 50 basis point cut. Right now, the market is pricing in a 25 basis point cut. But we do have to pay attention this week on September 11th. That's going to be Thursday for the CPI numbers. We're going to get the August CPI numbers. And last month, we got a hot reading for CPI, and you can see it right here. The forecast for this month is 2.9% annualized. The previous was 2.7%. So we'll see what we get on Thursday. But if we get a move to the downside for a CPI where we see it go to like 2.3, 2.4, 2.2, or even 2.5, we could potentially see the Federal Reserve come and say, hey, we're going to do a 50 basis point cut. But right now, we still see for September 17th, what's priced in is that 25 basis point cut at around a 95 percentile clip and the 50 basis point is around a 4.3% chance of happening. So that is what we are expecting for CPI inflation. Now, keep in mind, all this has to do with Bitcoin. Obviously, if rates go down, that's going to mean more M2, more liquidity. That means Bitcoin's probably going to go up. This is going to be good for Bitcoin. It's going to be good for strategy. The entire market is going to go up if we get interest rate cuts. And to kind of forecast where inflation could be going, looking at Trueflation, the U.S. inflation index, right now Trueflation is saying year-on-year change for inflation is around 2%. It's kind of been pretty volatile here since June. Back in June, we were sitting around 2.2 and went as low as 1.68, and it's kind of traded between 2.2 and around that 1.6% level. So if Trueflation is an indicator, CPI could be coming down to 2% in the near future. And if CPI does get down to 2%, the Fed is going to slowly lower interest rates. So got to watch out for that number on Thursday. That is a huge day. And then if we look at the Bitcoin ETF flows, yesterday we had a pretty decent inflow, around $364 million. FBTC, Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF, had a pretty big inflow, and we had a pretty big inflow on Monday. And then also checking out Ethereum. Ethereum has been red here. The BlackRock Ethereum ETF has been selling off. Ethereum has definitely lost a lot of the thunder that it was seeing about a couple weeks ago, where it was getting billions of dollars of inflows. Now we're seeing some pretty big outflows for Ethereum. So nature is healing there, guys. And then to get into some Bitcoin news, I'm not even sure how to pronounce this country. Kyrgyzstan's finance minister says he will introduce a bill to create a national Bitcoin strategic reserve, including government-backed mining. So more nation-state adoption is coming. We have more countries who are looking into mining Bitcoin or just buying Bitcoin and holding it as a strategic reserve asset. Along with, there has been talks with the U.S. government that there are some serious talks that more Bitcoin could be bought by the U.S. government and held as a strategic reserve asset. But the way they buy that, they want to do it in a budget neutral way. So that is yet to be seen if that happens and how that's going to happen, and if the bill passes through Congress or not. That's all yet to be seen, but we could definitely see something from the U.S. coming very, very soon. And then the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, is showing their Bitcoin holdings. They just bought another 21 Bitcoin for Bitcoin Day. They now hold over 6,313 BTC. So they're just accumulating more and more Bitcoin every day. They buy one BTC every day, and you can see they do some bigger purchases like this from time to time as well. So all these signals are really good. Nation state adoption is continuing, and more nation state adoption is coming. This is good for BTC. We know there's only 21 million Bitcoin ever, so just not enough to go around for everybody. And what's good for Bitcoin is going to be good for MSTR. So let me know what you guys thought about everything in today's video. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you bullish or bearish on Bitcoin, on strategy? Let me know what you guys are thinking right now. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. If you found any value, make sure to hit that like button. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. See you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.